your paycheck hits your account. You get that notification, or maybe you just open your banking app out of habit, and for about, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, everything feels lighter. You feel okay. You feel capable. Like, yeah, I can breathe again. And then reality starts lining up. Rent is already mentally gone. Bills are already mentally gone. Groceries, gas, subscriptions, little things you forgot about, all gone before you even touch the money. And if you're honest with yourself, you already know how this story ends. A few days later, maybe a week, you're back to that same quiet pressure in your chest. Not panic, just that dull, constant awareness that you're working hard, but not really getting ahead. And what's weird is, on paper, you're doing everything right. You have a job, you show up, you get paid consistently. This is what you were told stability looks like. But somehow, year after year, nothing really changes. And yeah, I think about this stuff way too much. Money, behavior, patterns, why some people seem stuck in this invisible loop while others, often with similar incomes, slowly pull away, and why payday, of all things, ends up being the most important moment in the entire month. Because payday isn't just when you get paid, it's when your future quietly gets decided. Most people don't realize that escaping the middle class has almost nothing to do with promotions, side hustles, or some dramatic financial breakthrough. Those help, sure, but the real difference is something much smaller, much quieter, something you do or don't do every single time money hits your account. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. This isn't about becoming rich overnight. It's not about grinding harder or sacrificing your entire life. It's about changing what payday means to you, changing what the money does first before life gets its hands on it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the one thing that, if you start doing it every payday, slowly, almost invisibly, pulls you out of the middle class without blowing up your lifestyle or turning you into a financial robot. Most people treat payday like a reward. You worked, you endured the meetings, you answered the emails, you survived the week. So when the money arrives, it feels earned. And emotionally, that makes sense. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If payday feels like a reward, you're already behind. Because the moment you see payday as something to spend, you've already decided the role that money is going to play. It's not a tool. It's not leverage. It's not momentum. It's relief. And relief is expensive. I used to do this thing where I'd open my bank app on payday and feel this weird mix of excitement and permission. Like, okay, now I can loosen up a bit. Maybe order food. Maybe buy that thing I postponed. Maybe just stop thinking so hard about money for a few days and nothing dramatic happened. That's the scary part. No huge mistakes, no blow-ups, just stagnation. Because when money first enters your account, it's neutral. It hasn't been assigned yet. It's pure potential. And the first decision you make with it quietly sets the tone for everything that follows. Why this matters? People who escape the middle class don't necessarily earn more. They decide faster. Faster than their habits. Faster than their environment. Faster than lifestyle creep. Stop asking, what do I need to pay? On payday. Start asking, what role does this money need to play first? Here's the trap no one explains. The middle class is built on automation, but not the good kind. Your bills are automated. Your subscriptions are automated. Your spending habits are automated. Your money already has a job before you even see it. And that job is to maintain your current lifestyle, not improve your future position. And listen, there's nothing wrong with comfort. The problem is when comfort quietly becomes a ceiling. I remember realizing one day that my entire paycheck was basically pre-spent by default. I wasn't making decisions. I was approving outcomes that had been locked in months ago. Rent stays the same. Car payment stays the same. Spending patterns stay the same. So even when income goes up a little, life just absorbs it. Why it matters. If every paycheck simply reinforces the same structure, nothing changes. You don't fall behind, but you don't pull ahead either. That's the middle class. You don't escape by earning more first. You escape by interrupting the automation. Here it is, and it's almost disappointingly simple. Before you pay bills, before you spend, before you even feel the money, you remove a portion of it from your life, not savings in the emergency fund sense, not money you might touch later, money that is not allowed to participate in your monthly lifestyle. This is the part most people misunderstand. Escaping the middle class isn't about saving what's left over. It's about deciding in advance what will never be available for consumption. When I started doing this, it felt uncomfortable, almost rude, like I was shorting my present self, like I was pretending I earned less than I actually did. But that discomfort is the signal, because for the first time, my lifestyle had to adapt downward to support my future, not the other way around. Why this matters? The middle class spends first and saves what survives. Wealth is built by removing money before it can be negotiated away. On payday, immediately move money to a place that is hard to access and psychologically off limits. Let's be honest, the first few times you do this, it feels wrong. Your account balance looks smaller than it should. You feel slightly underfunded. You second-guess yourself. You think, what if something happens? That's not danger. That's adjustment. Your brain is used to operating at a certain level of consumption. When you lower that level, even intentionally, it triggers resistance. I remember staring at my checking account thinking, this feels tight, but nothing was actually wrong. Bills were covered. Food was covered. Life was fine. My brain just wasn't used to not having slack. Why it matters. Growth often feels like loss before it feels like progress. Expect discomfort. Don't interpret it as a mistake. Most people live month to month, even if they're not broke. Everything resets every payday. New money, same problems. There's no continuity. Escaping the middle class requires a shift from monthly survival to long-term positioning. When you remove money first, you break the reset cycle. You create continuity. Progress starts stacking. Think in terms of accumulation, not monthly balance. Here's something subtle but powerful. When you start removing money first, your identity changes. You stop seeing yourself as someone who consumes everything they earn. You become someone who keeps money. That shift changes decisions in ways you don't notice immediately. You hesitate before spending. You feel protective. You think in trade-offs. That's how people slowly separate from the middle. Act like the person you're becoming, not the person you've been. Most raises disappear because they're absorbed into lifestyle. But if you're already removing money first, raises amplify progress instead of comfort. That's how gaps widen quietly. When income increases, increase the amount you remove, not the amount you spend. This isn't flashy. No screenshots, no dopamine, no instant gratification. But boring systems beat exciting intentions every time. If it feels boring, you're probably doing it right. If there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this. Escaping the middle class doesn't happen in dramatic moments. It happens in quiet ones, in the 5 minutes after your paycheck hits, in the decision to move money away before life can negotiate with it, in the willingness to feel slightly uncomfortable now so your future doesn't feel permanently stuck. You don't need to change your job tomorrow. You don't need to hustle yourself into exhaustion. You just need to decide that payday is no longer a reward. It's a responsibility. And if you start doing this, every payday, consistently, imperfectly, you won't notice the change at first. But one day, you'll look up and realize something feels different. The pressure is lower, the margin is bigger, and for the first time, you're not just surviving the middle class, you're slowly leaving it behind.